Gather round now, children, it's time to hear a tale. A legend lost for ages is about to set sail on a quest for glory and power supreme. A podcast of the ages, and its name we shall sing.
You are now in the zone with Fanboy Explosion. Listening to the words of Fanboy Explosion. A podcast of awesomeness, a chance to grow your mind. Your speakers are now playing Fanboy Explosion.
Hello and welcome to Fanboy Explosion. I'm Seth Turner.
And I'm Cameron Cook.
And today we're going to talk about 2014 and all the games that came out this year.
So many games.
So many good games. All right, I'll go ahead and get us kick-started off. So, in lieu of not being able to really pick, like, Game of the Year, because there were so many different types of games, we'll pick a favorite each, but we want to talk about different types of games that came out, and I really think that this year was a unique year for gaming. Lots of things happened. First full year with new generation consoles. What are your thoughts on the year as a whole?
I think it was pretty interesting. We saw some interesting experiments and promises that I don't know necessarily delivered. This, like you said, this was the first year everyone had the next-gen consoles. They've been out for a full year, and I think next year is actually going to be the big one.
The battleground.
This year we saw some interesting stuff, but next year is going to be where all the next-gen only games are going to be coming out. That's where you'll see the true potential of those consoles. And so I think this year, there's some great stuff this year, but I think this year was a warm-up year compared to the peak that is coming. But, we'll see.
We're just warming up.
Yeah.
Cool. So, you want to get started? What's your first thing you want to talk about?
Okay, well, first disclaimer, we have not played every game ever.
Yes, that's true.
We have not played every game ever. We play a lot of games, and we play a lot of different kind of games, but we have not nearly played everything.
PC and Xbox One.
Yeah, we mostly play PC, Xbox One. We both have 3DSs. So yeah, we're kind of lacking in the Sony department right now. But we play a lot of the indie stuff as well. So just really those big PlayStation exclusives we currently don't play because we don't have a PS4 because we're poor and we can only afford one console. Yeah. So if anyone wants to send us a PS4, that'd be cool.
Yes.
So, on that note, I'm going to say, like you said, not super ultimate favorite. These are just going to be a couple of favorites. But if I had to pick, like, one game that just made me super happy this year, I would say it was Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight?
I would say it was Shovel Knight.
I'm glad it came up first.
And I'm not even, like, a super big, like, old school guy. I mean, I played SNES and NES games, and but I've never really played Mega Man very much. Like, I've played it, but it's not, I don't know. But Shovel Knight is something completely different. It's like channels that old school feeling, that like nostalgia, but it throws in the modernness, like the modern game design with that old school look and feel, and just the result is something that I couldn't find anywhere else this year, and I mean, I just love that game to death. I think Yacht Club Games did a fantastic job, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to be doing in the future. Shovel Knight 2.
Yes.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, I bought it on 3DS. I bought it specifically on 3DS for the Street Pass function, and just also wanted to play it on the go, and I mean, super super pleased with that. You played Shovel Knight.
Yeah, I got Shovel Knight. I have not beat it yet, but I have played it on Wii U, which is interesting. You got it on 3DS for Street Pass. I got it on Wii U because I felt that, harking back to the SNES days, I wanted to enjoy that on a full-screen TV. Something big, not something in my pocket, but it was a stressful situation. But I think it's interesting you mention specifically how it was unique this year. And I think that its uniqueness is really interesting if you think about the Super Nintendo as a console. When that thing was out, like, 2D side-scrollers were a dime a dozen. Like, most licensed games were 2D side scrollers, and so the innovation in that was really low. But if you were to release Shovel Knight during that time, it probably wouldn't have risen above the rest per se, because you know it has the things like the secrets unlockable, all these different like Easter eggs and things in there. But what's the difference is we haven't had that for like 10 plus years. And so when they came out with the Kickstarter and people saw like, man, this is a SNES game for the modern console, I think people saw that, and boy, did it carry over. Like, for real, Shovel Knight, one of a kind, great job. Yacht Club, y'all did awesome. Excited to see what's going on there.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so that's one out of the way.
That's one. So,
one of many. So what is your
so
what had brought you joy?
So
okay, that was on your list. Okay.
That was on my list. So I'm glad we got a chance to talk about that. Speaking of extremely colorful games that bring us joy,
oh, I don't know what this is going to be actually.
Sunset Overdrive.
Oh, okay. I'm down with that. I was thinking that one too.
Open world games are. I have a stressful situation with them a lot of times because I like to do a lot of things, and I fear finishing the game because I know once I beat that storyline, I'm not really gonna have much drive to go back and do anything else. But Sunset Overdrive, it's just good old fun, man. It was super duper fun. I think that talking about that fear of finishing it, I still haven't beat story proper because I want to be able to take a break. Now that we've got the madness of November over, I want to go back and I really want to like go through and see these hilarious missions. I played a lot of it. I'm probably 2 hours from the end, but I don't want to finish it because I really want to squeeze every drop out of that game. But my only regret is that no one got to enjoy it except for the Xbox One crowd. It's sad, but you know, there's exclusives are inevitable. But if you have an Xbox One, you need, please get Sunset Overdrive if you haven't already. It is an amazing game.
I mean, yeah, it's just going kind of back to Shovel Knight. I mean, you love games for different reasons, and sometimes games you love for story, you love for just like the emotional response you get from it, or you love it for the combat. But in the case of both, for me, Shovel Knight and Sunset Overdrive, it was just fun. It was like there was no question about it. It was like, this is a video game. We are a video game, and we're just going to embrace it. We're going to have a great time. We're not trying to be super serious, and Sunset Overdrive is a perfect example where it's just the whole game is inside video game jokes, and the humor, sometimes it was hit or miss. I thought it was a hit a lot of the time, and the game itself is a blast to play, to just skate around the city, you can go across the entire city without ever hitting the ground. And just the gameplay combined with that look and feel and just that fun, just pure core fun, made it one of my favorite games of this year as well.
Yeah, it took a little bit to get kind of rolling, but once you get that air dash,
it's hard to link everything together until you get the dash. But then once you get that, you're cruising.
Yeah,
you're cruising.
But it gives you just enough time to master all the other maneuvers before they give you that glue that kind of sticks them together. So. Definitely a good pick.
What did you think about Chaos Squad?
Chaos Squad, I'm probably not going to return to it much. It's hard, it's difficult, but it's if you had a full group and y'all were just like partying through it, that's awesome. But matchmaking wasn't exceptionally fun for it. Definitely, I mean the single player was.
Well, see, I keep thinking that Chaos Squad is pretty fun, but I keep thinking that the game would have been better served if there had just been every mission, like every story mission or something, was co-opable. You could have up to 4 buddies or something like that playing. Just because Chaos Squad it's 8 people, it's really chaotic and it's really difficult sometimes. And yeah, it's fun, but is it something I'm going to come back and keep playing? After the first couple of weeks, probably not.
Yeah, but, I think I played it maybe 3 or 4 times, and. Yeah.
But the character creation is another highlight is another reason why Sunset is so much fun, because you can just make the zaniest, most ridiculous person you want, and it's like perfectly normal.
Almost as good as Soul Calibur.
It's almost as good as Soul Calibur. Like you can just make it's ridiculous. I mean, I have LARPing costumes and biker costumes and furry costumes and just everything in the world, and no one cares like what you look like. It's just
That would be one of the few games that I would consider getting cosmetic things via DLC just because of how zany it is.
I mean, and there's a ton of stuff in there like already, and so experimenting with that is a lot of fun. And I mean, customizing your weapons and stuff. I mean, the whole game is about customization. It's about being unique, and that game is unique, you know, through and through. That's what the game is really all about. So. So yeah, I mean, definitely on the top of my list. Now, also disclaimer, we play a lot of our games together.
Yes.
So a lot of the games we play with the idea of co-oping or playing multiplayer together. There are a few exceptions to that, but some of our interests do kind of cross over a lot of the time. So we will be talking about some of the things, but that gives us more to talk about because we both have a really core understanding of, you know, whatever game we're playing. So, all right. So Sunset Overdrive, that was a pretty good pick.
That was a good one.
So that was one on my list. So you're knocking some of mine down. So this next one I'm gonna pick, I almost 100% guarantee you already have in mind.
Okay.
And thinking back, I had almost completely forgotten it even came out this year. Because it was so far away, and it was so towards the beginning of the year, and it was a game that completely rose from the ashes and came back to consume our lives, and that is Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls.
Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls.
I knew I was going to be on there.
Yes, it is on my list. I think the quote that I gave you was, if I had gone back a year in time and asked myself, hey, guess what you're going to be playing in a year and having a lot of fun? Diablo 3 would have been at the bottom of that list because of the sheer disappointment that we had with the launch. But Reaper of Souls, damn, if that didn't do it.
I mean, yeah, we both played Diablo 3 when it came out. Oh, God. How many years? That was 2 years ago, wasn't it?
2 or 3, yeah.
Well, because, Reaper of Souls took 2 years to come out. And, one hell of a bumpy ride. I mean, we played pretty seriously for about a month or two after Diablo 3 originally came out. And just the auction house, I mean, it was killing that game. I mean, and you could the difficulty, and you couldn't get any items, and the only way to get items was to buy them on the auction house, but they're ridiculously expensive. So you just had to farm gold for eons, and it was just broken at like a core level. It was but they fixed it.
Yes,
and they were fixing it for a while, and Reaper of Souls was like the seal of approval. It's finally fixed. Come back and play with us.
For sure.
And so we both picked it back up a little bit before Reaper of Souls came out. We bought Reaper of Souls, and then, 200 hours of our lives are gone.
Yeah.
Additional hours after initial Diablo 3 time. And it's just, it's a completely different game, honestly. Like, we've said that, we talked about that a lot when it first came out, and it's a brand new game. I was encouraging everyone I knew who played Diablo 3 at one point to come back and play because it's a lot of fun. Just the infinite replayability part that they've added with the rifts and the adventure mode, and the new act and stuff. Yeah, that's cool. Crusader, that's cool. But really, where it is that the in-game adventure mode and the rifts and just constantly upgrading your gear. And they fixed the drop rate, so you actually get things now.
Yeah.
And you can play on those higher difficulties because you're getting items, so you can put that challenge higher up, whereas before, you put it on Inferno, you take one step outside, New Tristram, level 2 zombie wipes your head off, so, and you couldn't get items that way.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I think specifically Reaper of Souls did so much right, but one of the things that did the best, I think, was fix difficulty in the game. Because you had hard, or whatever it was before, hard and then Inferno, and it was like such a jump from like, you could run hard, no problem, but Inferno would just destroy you. And I ran Act 1 Inferno. Act 2 was impossible. Could barely get through it without getting carried. But once they had the tiers, like level 1 through 6 of the hardest difficulty, and then I think the way that they incentivized the Paragon levels made in-game super fun. Like, even though you're max level, you're still getting perks and gear, you're getting gear, but you're getting perks and power for continuing that journey. And boy, yes, it was up there, probably in my top 3 delights this year, as far as just like I was not expecting Diablo 3 to come back in such a great and amazing way, and Act 5 to actually be really cool and amazingly fun.
I mean, for an example of how much we played, like we are, I'm trying to remember, I'm at like 200 level Paragon or something, and you're pretty close to that, so we put a lot of time. Now, we haven't playing recently, but like I said, we played for like several months right after it came out, and we come back to it every once in a while, and it's one of those games where you can just play without having to think about it. You know, you just kind of left click, and you just tune out, you know, get in there with a couple friends, you know, just chat and just kill some demons, and that's why it's great. It's just one of those games where you can just kind of kick back, score some loot, and not have to worry about the greater challenges of life.
Yeah, just play for fun. I'm excited, and what's nice is I'm 99% certain that game's not done. I'm almost certain we're going to see another expansion.
Yeah, we thought it was coming. We kind of thought it was coming at BlizzCon this year, or last year, I guess technically.
When I saw a Hearthstone expansion, I knew it probably wouldn't. But Hearthstone is, you know, they came out this year. They're trying.
So we look forward to that.
Yes.
In the coming years, we look forward to more Diablo, and we are big Diablo fans.
Diablo 3: Fall of Valor. You heard it here first. That's what my guess for the next title is, but we'll have to see.
Okay, so I knocked another one off of your list. So
yes,
what do you have? What do you have left for me?
So
choose something I haven't played.
You talked about. We have very similar taste in a lot of games. We play a lot of games online, but there's one game specifically that we have a very stark, different opinion about. And that is Alien Isolation.
Oh my goodness! I can't believe you're even putting it. I can't even.
Let me explain why Alien Isolation was such an enjoyable experience for me. Now, given I'm a huge Alien fan, so that was cool in and of itself. But of every game that came out this year, Alien Isolation was really the first time I'd played a game like that in a long time. You tried it, did not like it, and if you don't like cat and mouse games, if you like old school like Clock Tower, if you like that kind of like helplessness, like there's no safe zones. You are at the mercy of this one mechanic that they poured resources into, then you'll absolutely love it. Is the game padded? Yes. Is it a door opening simulator? Kind of, sort of, yes. But if you like Alien and you like the tension of being hunted by an alien, it is definitely great. It's one of the best Alien games in a long time, even if you don't like that. I mean, heck, anything's a step up from Colonial Marines.
Which we both played, by the way, together. We co-op through that, and
sadness.
But and I can't now. It was bad, but I can't say it wasn't fun at times. Now that's part because it was so bad. It was fun, but and I respect that Isolation exists, and I like different kind of games. Like I like that it is able to do well like in the market, and I want to see more of that. Just for me, it's one of those games I don't think is for everybody. And now you're probably a bigger Alien fan than I am, but I mean I enjoy Alien, and I've seen the films, and I kind of know what's going on. I don't know. Yeah, it just didn't capture me. The intro is really long, and just that core gameplay, I found myself just getting frustrated more than I was like scared or having fun. Yeah. So yeah, I played about maybe 8 hours of it, and I just kind of...
I'll say it was nowhere near the top of this list. We're kind of going in just a random order. But I'm a huge fan of Alien, so I was able... I just walked slowly through a lot of this stuff and was just like, man, this is really cool that I'm, walking around what looks like the Nostromo and kind of getting to hear these sounds. And, it's like little tiny things from the movie that are expanded upon, like the motion tracker and stuff like that. It was a great experience, and I got to play the DLC that came with it. I
didn't play that. So maybe that was pretty cool.
And it very, very short. I mean, maybe 20 minutes if you.
Oh, geez. Okay.
If you're playing the way it's supposed to be played, maybe 20 minutes. But if you're a beeliner, good luck to you, because that game will punish you for it. But you could probably finish it in 2 minutes. But, I mean, when I'm playing that DLC and, it's basically Alien the game. It's like a lot of the moments from the movie Alien in the frame of Alien Isolation. And, you know, it's not exactly like the movie, but, you know, Ripley's, you know, singing the songs that she sang to herself to calm herself down. Like, all just little tiny things like that. And I was just like, you know, this isn't part of the main game, but if you like Alien, definitely give it a try. It's super great. But that was a spooky, scary game.
Spooky, scary.
Too spooky for me. But I really enjoyed it. I don't know if I want a sequel for it, but I would like to see more Alien games of that, with that amount of thought put into them, you know.
Yeah.
Make it the aliens, the marine stuff, but put that kind of thought into it, and don't just make a Call of Duty with aliens. Like, don't do that. Yeah. But that was one of my picks that I knew you probably wouldn't be too hot on. But what do you got?
Well, we both played this together. I don't know if it's on your list or how many exactly you're thinking of, but I had a lot of fun with this game, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say it was one of my favorites. Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare.
Good.
Which probably sounds absurd to a lot of people. Now, this is coming from a person who I played obsessively a game for the 360 called Snoopy Flying Ace, which was a downloadable only game, and it was basically like Mario Kart except dogfighting with planes and peanut characters. Completely ridiculous concept, but a really, really fun shooter that actually had a lot of deep mechanics and great core gameplay, but wrapped in kind of a kid-friendly and easy to access like package, which is exactly the same scenario with Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare. Actually pretty deep class-based shooter with just a coat of paint that is silly and is just a fun, goofy Plants vs. Zombies everyone knows about and everyone has played. And we played a lot of that. So was that on your list? Did you put that on there? You put that on there?
PvZ was on my list. You're right. It was fun. Unfortunately, for mine kind of stopped working. Good old EA and their good old server architecture. So the joining party system on that game, we still don't understand. Like, we honestly still don't really understand how it works. It's like needlessly confusing. But when we do get in a game together, we have a lot of fun. You just pick the all-star and you just tackle people to death, and that's basically how you win. But that's it. Yep.
Now, it's a really fun game. We have some, not concerns, but the whole booster pack system to get, more items and cosmetic stuff and unlock class variations. You basically buy booster packs with in-game money. Now, of course, this is a paid game. You pay, when it came out, it was $40, $50 new.
Still it, I think.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of content locked in those booster packs that you can't get. Now, if you play the game, you get coins which you can buy booster packs with to unlock some of that stuff. So I honestly don't know how much I've played. I've played a pretty decent amount. I think I'm rank 51 or 52. I put a lot of time into it. Have most of the achievements. But I don't have a lot of the stuff. And now some of it I don't care about, but other stuff, like some of the class variations, I would really like to have most of those. Mm-hmm. And unless I pour, another 50 hours in or whatever, I don't think I can get those without paying real money.
Yep.
And you can pay real money to get the coins, so you can buy the booster packs. And for a game that's almost full price, and to have that and have so much content locked behind the booster pack system, it's kind of annoying. That rubs me a little the wrong way, but the core game is just so much fun that I'm gonna go ahead and say I think it's worth checking out and was one of my favorite experiences of 2014. And I'm a big shooter fan. I love shooters.
It's very unique,
and it's just a unique shooter, and you don't see that. It's mostly all Call of Duty or Titanfall or military stuff, and
aim down sights.
Yeah, and so to have this third-person cutesy class-based shooter, but also that had some depth and it was fun. Yeah, and we played it a lot before we got. I don't remember what was we both got our Xbox Ones roughly around the same time.
Yeah.
This year. And that was mostly all we played for a month or two until I don't know what replaced it really.
Destiny.
Destiny, and I'm sorry, but Destiny is not going to be on this list for either one of us.
If you're holding your breath, breathe now because it's not coming.
We could do an entire podcast about Destiny, which we probably will.
We'll do it when they release another expansion.
The next expansion, maybe we'll talk about it. So basically, we played Garden Warfare for a couple months before Destiny came out, and then I think we played Destiny for a while, and then actually we went back to Garden Warfare for a while.
Yes.
And so, it's interesting. That's a cool game. If you like class-based shooters, definitely worth checking out, even if the booster pack system is kind of annoying. So,
yeah. I mean, that booster pack system they've been doing that for...
Oh, it's in like Mass Effect
3?
Dragon Age. Yeah. It's kind of the same thing. Now, the core difference for me, for those is, like, I don't buy Mass Effect or Dragon Age for multiplayer.
Yeah.
I buy it for the single player, and the multiplayer is just like an added bonus. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Garden Warfare is all multiplayer. It's all about the multiplayer. And so for them to lock all that stuff, and like literally that's the whole game, and I can't get a lot of it without like selling my soul to that one game, that's a little frustrating.
I think it's important to point out though that maps and game types are constantly being added via updates.
They have added stuff, and that's cool.
That's not locked behind stuff.
Like the Aquafina Berry Blast sponsored add-ons, but being a cheetah man plant from Cheetos and gooing people with cheese sauce. I don't even actually know.
Cheese dust on your
fingers. The cheese dust on your fingers. I don't even know, but so there are definitely things to not like about it. But it's
fun.
It's fun, and they do like holiday events, and so and that's another weird thing. It feels like a free to play game, except you paid money for it.
Yeah, there's a lot of games like that.
But I still think it was worth checking out.
Yeah. So there's a lot of games I'd like to talk about. I have one major one left before I get to my game of the year deliberation or choice. So there's a couple different ones that I could talk about, but I wanted to stop on this one. It's up there, Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yeah. Now I have to say that I'm not far enough in Dragon Age. I didn't include it on this list because I'm not far enough into it for me to like decide, but I really like it. And I'm a big Dragon Age fan. So what are your thoughts on it?
Disclaimer, I'm not that far. You're further than I am. So
okay.
I'm not that far into it. I made the foolish mistake of spending way too much time in the hinterlands.
Oh, man, the hinterlands is a great place. Just vacation there. 20 hours is fine.
If you haven't played it yet and you start playing it, get out of there as soon as you can. There's so much more and better content. But I have not... This was my first Dragon Age game that I really sat down with and played. I could definitely see the appeal of these games and this series. It's very... The conversations of Mass Effect with the combat of a RPG, fantasy RPG. I love it. It's very high up on my list just because of the size of the game. It's just massive. So much content to do, but it's not my game of the year because it felt like everything in the game had been done before. It was just done on a bigger scale. There was a lot of new ideas in the game, but it's BioWare. So you know what the conversations are like.
Yeah, you got the conversation wheel, you got the romance, you got the companion quest,
And what it seems like the combat is a hybrid between 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Where they tried to put some of the strategy of Origins into the action.
More action of 2 and
2.
Yeah.
But
I think they succeeded in that.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's a fun game. I think for the the Game Awards this year, it won Game of the Year.
Yeah.
It's probably landed on a lot of Game of the Year lists. But it was just it's one of those extremely fun. I'm excited to get back to it.
Yeah.
But you're right. And when I finish it, I may be like, holy crap, this is the best game ever. But I haven't got there yet, so I can't quite say it's as phenomenal as it could be.
Yeah. But, I mean, I've played for about 40 hours, and I've spent a lot of time doing a lot of the side quests and stuff, so I'm not all the way through a lot of the main storyline. Now, part of the reason I didn't include it on here, not only did I haven't finished it yet, Now, like I said, I really enjoy the game. I'm a huge fan. Origins is probably one of my favorite games of last generation. Not a huge fan of 2, but I enjoyed a lot of the characters and some of the storyline, but just not the gameplay or the setting so much. But for Dragon Age Inquisition, you were talking about how you liked it because there was so much, like it was so big. But almost I feel like the opposite way. I feel like if they had narrowed it a little more, maybe, and I hadn't spent 20 hours in the hinterlands, that maybe it would have been a little more enjoyable, because I find myself, and I'm quitting this now, because I'm one of those people with those kinds of games where I want to do everything.
Yeah.
I want to do everything. And most of those side quests in that game are just pretty pointless. They're pretty frivolous. They're just like, collect some plants. Or find this treasure chest buried in this tree. Or, you know, just like kind of these run here, pick up this. Nothing super compelling, and that's what a lot of them is. Now, if you're looking for a game with a ton of content and replayability, yeah, it's awesome. It's really awesome. I think Dragon Age Origins I played for like 50 hours, and I did almost everything in. And, I mean, I even played it, 50 hours on one playthrough, but I played through it multiple times. I did all the Origin stuff with multiple characters. But yeah, like a 50-hour playthrough and do almost everything, to me, that's like, I've gotten my money's worth, and there wasn't a lot of filler. This one I've played for 40 hours. I don't even think I'm close to being done. I might be like halfway. And so that's intimidating. I'm like, that's a lot of time to put into it. And when most of it's not like super amazing, compelling wise, like the quest.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I love the story missions, and I love the companions, and I think the main storyline I'm really interested in. I'm gonna be ignoring a lot more of the side stuff to do that. I'm not gonna bash my head against the wall for trying to complete every little nook and cranny. I'm just gonna kind of enjoy what I enjoy, which is the main storyline and doing those companion quests and stuff. Mm-hmm. So that's why I didn't put it on my list, even though I do really enjoy it. I just haven't. I'm still waiting to see. I mean, I think it's very deserving of all the awards and stuff it's getting, but I'm kind of waiting to see.
I think it deserved a spot, at least on my list of notables. But you're right. You've played all of them extensively. I have not played any of them, so this is my first foray. Maybe it's just I like Dragon Age. Maybe I need to go back and play the other two. But this one, I had fun with it. As far as fetch quests, side quests, I can tolerate that for a certain amount. But I'll ignore them when I'm done with them.
Yeah. You know, I mean, and it looks beautiful. I mean, it's one of the best looking, next gen games. I mean, I don't know how playing on the other consoles are, but
glitches.
But there are some good glitches as well. In true RPG Skyrim fashion, there are some pretty interesting hiccups that happen. But you know, if you can look past that, and I mean, there's a ton of stuff to do there. So it's a cool game. It's definitely cool. But yeah, I just not on my list yet. Not on my list yet.
Well, what you got? What else you got?
Well, I really only have one more main one.
Okay.
I could probably think of some other ones, but I think I'll probably be done after this in terms of my 2014.
So is this the big one? Is this like your...
No. This is my big... Oh, I wasn't saving the big one for last. I was just...
Oh, okay.
I was just kind of doing general... They're all about equal. Like I said, I can't really pick... If I was going to pick my main one, I would probably... I think Shovel Knight would be it.
Okay.
It was just that core and, 8-10 hours of pure bliss. It was a lot of fun. You replay it. I would say that made me like the happiest. Okay. But best game of the year or your favorite game of the year doesn't necessarily have to be happy. It could be something that was very emotional or had some great gameplay or something like that. For me, Shovel Knight it had great gameplay, made me really happy. It was just a fun game. But if I had another game I would add to the ones that I think defined my gaming of 2014, I think it would be Shadow of Mordor. Now, I think Shadow of Mordor has some problems. I think the storyline is not very good, and I'm a big Tolkien buff. I mean, I read the Silmarillion, so I know some of that stuff. The storyline is not amazing, and it's kind of weird, and it kind of takes some strange liberties sometimes. But Shadow of Mordor is not a game you play for story.
No. Shadow
of Mordor, number one, looks fantastic. Is beautiful on next-gen consoles. Not so much on the other ones, but next-gen, fantastic. Like, it looks... whatever I just said about Dragon Age, take that back. Shadow of Mordor is I think one of the best looking games.
Yeah, and it's not glitchy.
And it's not glitchy.
Yeah.
I've never no glitches. From what I've experienced. It's all about the gameplay though. All about that gameplay. All about the Nemesis system. All about just killing orcs in delightful ways. About pitting them against each other. About brainwashing entire legions and having them fight each other. It's just you haven't seen that before.
Yeah.
You haven't seen that before, and it's not like my super game of the year. I think because of the story failings, it just didn't compel me. But like I said, I didn't play that game. I didn't spend 25 hours with that game doing all the side stuff because of story. I did it because that gameplay is so fantastic, and it's interesting because it's not like the Nemesis system. Obviously, is really unique, but like the gameplay itself, some of it. I mean, we've seen it before. It's Batman. Straight up, I mean, no offense or anything, this is not a bad thing, but straight up paste it from Batman.
Yeah. Other Warner Brother property that's done well.
Yeah, straight up paste it from Batman. Yeah. I mean, except put sword in hand instead of gauntlets, and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you have some unique abilities that kind of add some things to that, but that core attack, parry, jump over people's backs, combo building, the finishers. It's all the same. And then the building climbing, the stealth portions, having to climb up the towers to like unlock sight on that area. Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
I mean, less so than Batman. It's less, I think, copy paste than Batman, but it's there. And I mean, they got some flack for that, which I don't think is really justified because, like I said, the game is the sum of it. It's the sum of its parts. It's not all the parts individually, which is once again why I really like it, even though the story kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But I mean, we had a lot of fun. I mean, we were playing that kind of at the same time, chatting about like what was happening and
totally different experience.
Yeah, and we would kill each other's. Orcs could appear in each other's games. Like an orc that killed Seth, he would appear in my game.
Yep.
And then I could go kill him, and I could see like who's this asshole who killed Seth, and he'd be some big bad, and have an eye patch, and he's got the bow and arrow with the poison tips, and you're like, oh man, this guy's a scumbag.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it's a lot of fun, and like I said, we just hadn't seen anything like that before, and I think that's why it deserves to be up there.
Yeah, I'm never one to necessarily say there's one to rule them all. But,
I see what you did there. I don't know if that was intentional or not.
It kind of was. But Shadows of Mordor, while you're right, it's not a perfect game. There's a lot of elements taken from it. But of everything that came out this year, the Nemesis system is hands down the most amazing video game technology that came out this year. As far as like ways to make gameplay fun. Like, this game was unanimously loved, despite the fact that it has a pretty bad story. It's the gameplay is technically like similar to another franchise, but that Nemesis system made every playthrough unique, and not in a randomly generated roguelike kind of way, but genuinely.
Well, it is kind of randomly generated.
It's randomly generated.
Somewhat, but there is like some structure to it.
Whereas you have every playthrough is different in Spelunky because the levels are randomly generated.
Yeah.
And you have these tools that it will pull from to make something random for you. Whereas this, everyone has the same world, but I'll remember the time where I was scouting out this orc camp from up on this rock, and then all of a sudden this dude comes up behind me and he was like, "I'll get you back for stabbing me in the eye." And I'm like, "What? I thought I killed you." And then, in your experience, it's you get attacked by, some beast wrangler dude who is just totally pissed at you. That in and of itself made that game is, if there's anything I'll say to a game developer, steal the shit out of that game. Like that game.
But will it be cool if everyone steals it? And it honestly doesn't make sense, and I think a lot of like...
Oh yeah, it would have to be like open world style things.
Yeah.
But just the way that the NPCs remember, it's not like...
Now, that's cool. Maybe not necessarily like that whole system, but the fact that... Yeah, like the orcs... like you were saying, the orcs remember you.
Yeah.
They like build a relationship with you, and these are just just like the goons. Like these are the dudes that you just chop their heads off and you're like, whatever. Like they're not super bosses. They're just kind of like slightly better than the average orc. I mean, they have some different abilities, and
but if the average orc kills you,
yes,
he becomes
that. And that's the beauty of it. And that's the beauty of it. And that's why it's so much fun, because like you've never seen that before. You've never seen henchman number 3 when he kills you. You've never normally you go to the game over screen and you start over. Well, in this game, he rises to a captain, and then he mocks the shit out of you next time you reboot and go and fight him. And he's like, oh, hey, man, what's up? I thought you were dead. You kind of sucked then. I'm just going to kill you again.
Yeah.
And no other game that I know of that has ever done that. And that's really cool. And I hope they build on that. I mean, the end of this game, which is kind of silly, definitely sets up a sequel. Like so much that it's grown worthy, but if they expand on that gameplay and they add some new stuff to it, I mean, Jesus, yeah, like gonna buy it instant buy. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to see what comes of that as well.
So let me ask you, just as a bonus question, do you think that Arkham Knight will be influenced by this at all?
No, I mean Arkham Knight's so far in development. I mean, I'm sure like, because they are both Warner Brothers, maybe they interacted. The teams who made the separate games interacted a little bit, but I think it's so far in development that I don't think there's going to be there's not going to be a nemesis system.
Okay.
Well, I mean, which I think is obvious. No one expects that.
And we'll probably talk more about Arkham Knight as we get closer to that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's going to have a hard time, I think, living up to Shadow of Mordor.
It's going to be compared.
It's going to be compared. I mean, probably because they took the combat system from Batman and put it in their game. But, so yeah, I mean, definitely looking forward to seeing what comes with that franchise and seeing how other people kind of use that idea of the Nemesis system and having those unique enemies and seeing what can be done with that. So
now we just need the Batmobile in
Mordor. Yeah.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
Ship it.
Basically, Gandalf can build it.
So, that was it. As far as picks goes, that was the one that I picked as kind of like a favorite just because it was memorable.
Mm-hmm.
Shovel Knight was damn fun. I've still got to finish it. I'm excited to finish it.
Okay, well let me add one really quick.
Okay.
What about Super Smash Brothers?
Super Smash Brothers. Okay.
Now the disclaimer. We basically, prior to recording this podcast, we basically played Smash Brothers for like 4 days straight.
Yes.
And Seth has never really played a whole lot of Smash Brothers before.
Yes.
I have played a long time. I played in high school a lot with people. I played in college a lot with people. Now, I don't have a Wii U. Seth has the Wii U. He brought it over. He bought Smash Brothers. We played Smash Brothers. What do you think?
So, you're right. I didn't play... I've played more Smash Brothers in the past 4 days than I've probably played my entire life. But, I have a very tense relationship with fighting games.
This is it's a different fighting game.
It's a different type. It's a different type.
And
games where I feel like if you're not on the bandwagon from the start, it's hard to get on that. I felt like that's how I felt about Smash going in. Now, after playing it and actually finding characters that match my playstyle,
Zero Suit Samus.
Zero Suit Samus. But it's damn fun. It's super duper fun. We played Injustice together. Gods Among Us.
We did play Injustice.
Not a whole lot.
Seth rage quit that one.
I rage quit that one. Just, oh man. But nonetheless, totally different style of fighting games. I knew the mechanics going in. I know how Smash works. So I wasn't like a complete noob. I played, I knew how to play Link a little bit and whatnot. But Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U, I can see where the hype is coming from. I bought a Wii U on faith for Legend of Zelda eventually, but I was like, man, everyone's having so much fun with Smash. Everyone loves it. It's a great way for people to come together, so I wanted to try it out, but damn, it's fun. It's fun. The GameCube controller, we've had conversations about, different controller options on the Wii U, but...
Well, yes, this man, in case you want to hunt him down and eliminate him, so to take his GameCube controller adapter, since those are basically non-existent, we do have one of those, and that's what we've been playing. We've been playing with the... like I said, I played a ton of Smash. I have 4 GameCube controllers lying around my house.
Yeah.
So bust those bad boys out. You know, he got one with the bundle, so he has a new one. And
which I found in the wild 2 weeks after that game came out. I've never had a more intense wait in a line before because there were like 6 people in front of me who could have been there for that.
Oh man, they were eyeing it. No, I saw them.
It was very intense, but no, it's I'm excited to continue playing it. Lots of game modes, lots of characters. Good, and I think it's one of those games you can just carry like.
Yeah, to tell you how much we played, he went from having almost no characters unlocked to having all of them unlocked in I think like just a couple hours, like one session.
It's like 60 minutes,
and
60
like
matches.
Yeah, in like one session we unlocked all of them, and we have not put it down since. I mean, I've just played a lot of Smash Brothers, and I love Smash, but I don't know if I was gonna put it on my. I don't know if it would make my list, honestly. Like, I threw it in there because we have been playing it so much recently, and it's a ton of fun.
Well, you played on the 3DS a lot.
Yes, I also play on the 3DS. I mean, if you had to pick... I bought it on the 3DS because I don't have a Wii U. The 3DS version is actually really solid. I mean, you lose some of the control, and obviously the screen is pretty small. And I think maybe some of the modes aren't as good as the Wii U one. But... I mean, like, it's a great game either way. Like, no matter what you play it, if you love Smash Brothers, it's a fantastic game. It's a fantastic way to get into Smash. I mean, it's a fantastic time to start Smash Brothers if you never played any ones before. Like, I mean, you can just jump in.
Oh yeah. It looks gorgeous too,
and it looks great on the Wii U. I mean, it looks great on the 3DS. Honestly, I mean,
considering
it's. Yeah. I don't know how they do it on the 3DS. Honestly, I mean, like my DS shuts down every time I turn Smash Bros. Off because it has to like recover from like running it, I guess. But I didn't put it on the list just because I had played so much of Smash Bros. Before, and this is not. I mean, it's new characters and some new items and new modes, but it's not super anything.
It's an update.
Yeah, it's like an update. I mean, it's a long-awaited update, but it's still Smash. Like, it's core Smash. Link's the same as Link was, you know, in Brawl just about. And then some pro people are going to be like, no, he's completely different, you know, his attack animation. But to me, to normal people, he is basically the same.
Yeah.
And most of the characters who are in previous games are basically the same. And so for that reason, because it wasn't, like, brand new to me, it wasn't, like, something that I had never experienced before, I'm not going to put it on, like, my most memorable games of 2014. But this will be a game we will play for...
Long remembered.
I mean, Brawl came out once on the Wii. People still play the crap out of it. People still play Melee. People are still going to play this. You know, and it's going to be strong for the rest of the Wii U life cycle. And then some.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah. I'm not going to put it on the top.
Yeah, and, you know, I've owned it for a while, but I haven't really played it until this weekend, like actually played with people, not computers. And I didn't play it online just because I already have a tense relationship with fighting games, and you throw lag into that, and it just all of a sudden it just throws it off. But maybe now I might try it. You know, I never know. I know a lot of people have been waiting for that feature, but yeah, I mean, Smash, it's fun. It's super fun. I'll say that. Mario Kart is super fun.
That's true. Mario Kart. You have Mario Kart.
I have Mario Kart. I've played Mario Kart a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played a whole lot of. I mean, we played it a couple times, but
yeah.
I mean, you think
it's right up there with Smash. The way you describe Smash is exactly how I describe.
I mean,
Mario Kart.
a great, gorgeous looking game that you'll play
it's
forever.
Mario
but
Kart
it's
8.
But it's Mario Kart. You know, it's not like a revolution.
It's beautiful. It plays well. I would argue to say it plays almost perfectly, as Nintendo is used to releasing perfection as far as gameplay goes. But they're trying the DLC thing. The tracks are fun. It's colorful. It's Nintendo. It's didn't quite so much make my list just because I'm not a super big racing fan. But Mario Kart came out. But Mario Kart and Smash, 2 loved franchises, got major updates for the Wii U. But nothing that really was this is the reinvention of the genre.
Yeah.
Nothing like the Nemesis system, for that type of game or anything else that we've talked about.
I mean, I think we, along with everyone else, we're waiting for Zelda. We're waiting for the new Zelda. We're waiting for that open world We're waiting. That's the big one.
The pre alpha footage we saw.
Yeah, that's the big one we're waiting for. Along with, I mean, like I said, next year's gonna be
Star Fox will be cool too.
Maybe.
Oh, I know fans are hyped for it. Fans of the series are very
Fans
hyped.
are always hyped for it though. But from what I've seen, I like Star Fox. But from what I've seen, I don't really know how this new thing. That's the thing. I can't even really describe like what it is.
We're gonna see it before Zelda.
But we'll see it before Zelda. But next year is gonna be a big year for all the systems, all the consoles. It's gonna be a big year.
Oh yeah. The battle lines are drawn. Let's fight in the best way possible. Like
in a good way, not in a scumbag.
Like,
Destiny PS4 DLC exclusive way.
No, podcast to come.
Which drives us insane. But, you know, like, we want people to be able to experience.
These people are going to bring their best. Like, these developers
Yeah.
and these game creators are going to bring their best to try and sell themselves. And that's what I'm excited for. I'm excited to see we got so many cool games coming out the first half of this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be, and it more so than I think most years, this is going to be a pretty even, like, in terms of distribution. I mean, I'm sure holidays will be hot and heavy, but, you know, like, summer, we have Witcher 3, which I'm just going to go ahead and say is my most anticipated. We have Batman. You know, earlier we have, well, I actually got, I think maybe it's in April now. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But we have Bloodborne,
Yeah.
which is huge for a lot of people. Not necessarily me, but for a lot of people, that's a huge deal.
Yeah.
So, I mean, right off the top, that's 3 giant games coming out in the first half of the year.
Yeah.
And we don't even probably know. I'm sure there's announcements to come about tons of other stuff that's going to be coming holiday that we don't know about right now. So get your wallet ready because it's going to hurt pretty bad, I think. Right. But it's going to be a good hurt.
Yeah. It's
going to be a good hurt.
So, as far as, so that got through your list. That got through my list. That's 2014. That's a wrap. So I think that it is, you know, we had a really good year. A lot of things, you know, we said earlier, a lot of things happened. 2015, I hate to lay, but I think it's more exciting. It's going to be, I'm more excited now than I was because the Xbox had such a rough start last year.
Yeah.
And it just looked dismal. I felt like we're huge Xbox fans, but we didn't buy the next gen consoles right away because we.
I almost bought a PS4.
Yeah, it's like
I almost bought a PS4,
I put on my PC Master Race badge for a short time because it was like, okay, well, you know, basically anything that matters is going to come to PC. But then we got to the back end of the year, Xbox corrected its ways as far as, you know, that platform as a whole, and then we got some amazing exclusives that I regret are exclusives, but it showed me, okay, console gaming is going to be viable. It's going to be more than just PC ports, which is going to be nice to see. So that about wraps it up. Thank you very much for listening to the very first episode. Anything you'd like to say as we close out?
We'll see you next time.
See you next time.